The man couldn't wait. Damn it, give me your wallet. Quickly. Otherwise, I'll cut you up. Tang Mo said quietly, if you pull the knife back a little bit and let me stand up, I will give you my wallet. Stop speaking nonsense. The man moved the knife back a little bit. Tang Mo stood up, sensibly not turning around as he handed over his wallet. In just a moment, his wallet was taken away. The rough male voice yelled, fuck, is that it? That car is yours, is the key in it? It is in. Don't move or I will hack you to death. Tang Mo didn't turn around as the knife was removed from his lower back. He heard the other person open the door and try to start the car. After confirming that it would start, the door was slammed shut. Tang Mo asked loudly, my baggage is in the trunk. Can you let me take it? The car started for a moment before stopping again. The man said impatiently, how can you speak about such trifling matters? Your baggage is also mine, fuck off. It is getting colder. Let me take some clothes. Brother, I will freeze to death on such a cold night. Just one piece of clothing is good. The man swore a few times before opening the place, placing the knife against Tang Mo's waist again and said coldly, hurry up and take a piece of clothing. Otherwise, I will be forced to kill you. Tang Mo turned around and saw this person clearly. The man had greasy hair and there were grey spots and stains on his clothing. After discovering that Tang Mo was looking at him, the man seemed like a frightened animal that didn't want others looking at him. He gulped and said, hurry and take your clothing. He had used the knife in the past. Tang Mo nodded. This man was a thief. Tang Mo walked to the trunk and opened it. What is this thing? A match. The man asked with a strange expression. Tang Mo leaned over to take his suitcase and his hand ended up slashed by the lock on the trunk. The sharp lock crossed the delicate skin of his palm, leaving only a shallow mark. Tang Mo's eyes narrowed and his left hand directly grasped the match, forcibly swinging it behind him. What is this match? You, ah. The giant match slammed into the man's head, causing blood to flow out. Tang Mo didn't expect this match to have such great power. In his hand, the match wasn't heavy and it felt like an ordinary wooden match. But there was that loud noise just now and it felt like an iron stick was in his hand. Listening to the man's voice, he seemed to be feeling great pain. It was likely that a normal man's head would have been smashed. The man just staggered back and raised a bloody face, looking angrily at Tang Mo. I will slice you apart. He raised the knife and rushed over. Tang Mo's chest was tight as he escaped to the right while raising his left foot, slamming it into the man's belly. The man cried out and the knife slashed at Tang Mo's lower leg. His pants were instantly cut but the sharp blade only left a shallow, fingernail-like mark on Tang Mo's skin. The knife made a creaking sound, like it had hit something hard. The man clutched his stomach and rushed over again. Tang Mo reacted very quickly, raising the match to meet it. The sharp blade and the wooden match collided with each other and there was a loud sound. The knife broke in two. Tang Mo, the man, Tang Mo didn't think that the match had such great power, but he quickly recovered and waved the match at the man. The man was very close to Tang Mo due to the previous slashing action and he couldn't escape from the stick. However, just as the match was about to hit his head again, countless red bills suddenly fell from the air. Tang Mo had never seen so many 100 yuan bills. It was like a small hill. The countless 100 yuan bills fell from the sky, forming a wall between the match and the man. It served as a buffer for the man and he was only knocked to the ground. Don't kill me, the man trembled and begged for mercy. Tang Mo stopped the action of a blow. He lowered the match and leaned down to touch the money. Where did you get so much money? Where did they come from? These were real 100 yuan bills. The man looked at the giant match with fear and explained, I am a thief. This morning, all the people on the streets suddenly disappeared and I stole a lot of this. This afternoon, I ran to a bank and took all the money that could be found. This wasn't what Tang Mo wanted to know. Where did you hide the money? The man raised his right hand and showed him a light blue tattoo on the wrist. I took it out from here. When I stole the money, I found that I could place the money in this tattoo. I've had this tattoo for a long time and can only store money in it. Just now, I was almost killed by you and subconsciously took the money out of the tattoo. Tang Mo nodded and looked down at the tattoo on the man's wrist. There was a flash and a half-foot-long knife emerged and headed straight for Tang Mo's eyes. Die for me. The giant moved quickly through the air. Tang Mo didn't block as he broke the knife. The red matchstick moved in an arc and struck the man's head. There was the sound of something breaking and the man's eyes were huge, as if he couldn't believe Tang Mo and the match in his hands. Then the heavy body crashed to the ground. Tang Mo's face changed as he touched the man. He's dead. Tang Mo watched the dead man with a complicated expression. He stared for a moment before raising the man's right hand and carefully examining the pattern on the wrist. The night was too dark and he had been a bit far away. Tang Mo didn't notice until now that the tattoo was a yuan symbol. Then he picked up the man's left hand and found that the tattoo on the wrist was that of a knife. Tang Mo watched for a moment. Suddenly, the tattoo disappeared and two knives appeared on the ground. His heart jumped and he looked at the man's right hand. The yuan had also disappeared and there was another pile of 100 yuan bills on the ground. Tang Mo headed to the car and took out a book. He turned to the second page and as expected, new lines of text appeared on it. Ability, I have a worse spiritual field than a protagonist owner, Jian Sankan, stowaway, type, special type function, seal the object in contact with the body and present it in tattoo form. Grade, level 2. Can store two types of inanimate objects. Limit, only objects of the same type can be stored and no bodies can be stored. Remark, Jian Sankan never imagined that not only was his spiritual field worse than a protagonist's, he would die from a match. The words were all black and at the bottom, there was a line of red words. Tang Mo version usage instructions, disposable items. Only the same type of object can be stored. Not replaceable. Friend, think about what you want to store. Stow away. Tang Mo stared blankly at this word for a long time but couldn't think of anything. He could only temporarily give up. He might want to slap the book but this was his ability. Tang Mo quickly understood the man's ability and how to use it. Jian Sankan was a thief and he also awakened an ability. His ability was to store inanimate objects in his body that could be used at any time. As long as they were the same item, the number of storage capability was unlimited. Tang Mo didn't know what the ability grade was, but it was assumed that this ability could be upgraded. Jian Sankan could only store 2 types of objects. He chose money and knives. Truly a short-sighted money. In this situation, money had no effect and was just a waste of paper. However, Jian Sankan was reluctant to give up money. Jian Sankan was a bit clever. He knew how to deceive Tang Mo by saying his money was stored in a previous tattoo, not revealing his own ability. This gave him the chance to attack Tang Mo with the knife tattoo. Fortunately, Tang Mo had never relaxed his vigilance. Unfortunately, if the second object that Jian Sankan was another type of weapon instead of money, he might have had a chance to survive. Tang Mo looked at the cold corpse of Jian Sankan on the ground and then the knife and money. He didn't hesitate to press the giant match against this wrist. There was a red flash of light and the match disappeared. Then a small matchstick tattoo appeared on Tang Mo's left wrist. The power of the giant match was beyond Tang Mo's expectations. Storing the match meant it could be used as a hidden weapon. It would be less threatening when he later met people like Jian Sankan. Tang Mo looked down at read the book. The name of Jian Sankan's ability had become ability, I have a worse spiritual field than a protagonist, used. He turned to the first page again. The first page recorded his own abilities and nothing changed from before. But Tang Mo didn't give up. He stared at the book. After 5 minutes, a line of text slowly appeared. Remark, Tang Mo clearly knows that when he killed that man, he ate everything from the other party and didn't give any money. Tang Mo's eyes became smaller and the fingers holding the book trembled. Is it really only murder? A minute later, another line of words was seen. Note, but how can I tell Tang Mo that he could get other people's abilities without killing? Tang Mo, bang. A book was mercilessly tossed by its owner into the pile of money. 3 minutes later, Tang Mo coldly picked up the book. He grabbed a handful of bills and buried Jian Sankan in his favorite thing, money. After completing all of this, he took the book and continued driving to Shanghai. The author has something to say. Tang Mo, can I apply for a change in abilities? /= ability baby, you can t, degree, fu wenduo, when do I get to come out, _. Haha, let me give you a bit of an explanation. I have a worse spiritual field than the protagonist. Jian Sankan's ability can be regarded as a spatial power, but unlike the characters of other stories, his ability can only store inanimate things. His field doesn't allow him to farm and grow rich,